born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.
Welcome, athletes, into the gym closet. We're here without Zach, but
And Jake.
Yeah, both
Sometimes
coaching
Jake
right now.
drops in and it's fun.
What's that?
Said sometimes Jake drops in and it's
That's
fun,
true.
but
He might be finishing up. Nope. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be dropping in or not today. He's finishing up at kids camp today. So, but welcome if this is your first time joining us. The Gym Closet is a Krave Gym podcast talking about everything that we do at Krave Gym, living like an athlete, how we live like an athlete, and ultimately that means how we're successful and how we live to be great. So today we have some awesome topics. We have our word of the week. We have our cravings. We have some review of this past season, and we also have kind of some things that are coming up for next season. With supplements, we're going to talk about a little bit too, and what we have going on coming up.
yeah.
How's your week been?
Pretty good. Always flies by, I feel like, every week. Just every week I'm like, I can't believe it's Friday. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing,
Yeah.
but
And we're like, I don't feel like we got anything done,
right.
but Friday's here.
I know, because we have these meetings like we did this morning, and then we just pile more shit on top of more shit. So then you just feel like you can never get everything done, you know?
That's true.
Just an ongoing list.
Yep.
But that's all right. I mean, the awesome thing is we love what we do, so it never feels like it never feels heavy, but it's just a lot. But it never feels like it's something I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing that the days go fast. That I don't sit there and look at the clock and I'm like, when can I get out of here? So I'm thankful for it, but it just goes really fast.
Like what are the time flies when you're having fun is kind of the motto, but it's like time does fly when I'm at Krave,
right,
working and doing different stuff all day, every day.
It's good. And now it's volleyball night already.
Right, which cuts our week in half.
I know, it does. It's a good night to have it. Because
Yeah.
I remember, I think I've talked about
better.
this before, but when we played Monday nights, that was just a terrible night to play sand volleyball. I don't know why I hated that night so much. Did you play at that time, or was it just...
Yeah, no, I played.
Yeah, it was just a bad night to play volleyball.
Yeah.
But Wednesdays are good. It kind of breaks up the week.
It started your week off like you didn't want to drink too much because it was Wednesday, and you didn't want to be hungover, or Monday,
yeah.
And so you didn't want to start the week off by like getting really drunk on a Monday and then being hungover on a Tuesday, and then you have to just like wait for, and you're
when you're our
busy
age, wait until Friday to feel better.
Right. And then it's the weekend, and then it's time to be like, okay, well, we have stuff going on again.
That was back in the day when we didn't have kids or
Right.
many responsibilities.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Monday's just coming off of a weekend, and then you have that again. So, but it's like almost a 3-day weekend, but it's not because you had to work all day. I don't know. It was just weird. But
Yeah,
Wednesdays are good. I like.
Wednesdays
and I don't know.
are
It's
good.
just
I think Thursdays would be perfect.
the Thursdays would be fun. The team that we have too is just fun, and just the environment.
Definitely. We need to play better though.
We need to play a lot better.
Yeah.
We had Krave shirts on. I'm like, we should probably not wear these Krave shirts anymore. Nobody's gonna come to Krave.
I played just last week was my first week back, right?
Yeah.
I felt okay, but I don't think I was moving as good as I normally would.
No.
So I probably hurt the team.
We all just need to have a great night all together at once, and we'll be really, really good.
Bingo. That's the key. So today we're going to talk about, let's talk about a little bit about what we talked about this in our meeting was the end of season celebration awards deal. So what we're going to do instead of the championship this year or this season, we're going to be doing a brunch on September 4th. Details will be coming out shortly, but basically the winners of the season will be the top scorer of the challenges throughout. Obviously, if everybody knows, if you don't know, we have challenges on a weekly basis that everybody competes on. And in that competition, there's a top 10 from each location and a top 10 overall. So we will have awards given out for those. And then the team award will be given out to the average of the best 10 scores per location. So that's what Those are going to be instead of the championship this season. And instead of the championship this season, we're just going to be doing a celebration. Well, the reason we're doing that is we're going to have our championships, instead of segmenting 6 championships, we're going to have the challenges be the achievements of each season, and we're going to be moving more towards like a, I don't know what we'll call it, but a winter classic and a summer classic, where we're going to do a big competitive event where we do the challenges from the 3 seasons, and you know, it may be an open, it may be a public thing, we don't know yet, but it'll be a bigger event. That way those events can be a little bit more fun and planned out and just a little bit more interesting than coming in. And the championships were just kind of,
well, it's so hit or miss. People's
right,
weekends
it just
get
kind of
busy,
depends
and,
on when it hit, you
right.
know, and people, less people I think planned for it
right.
every single season. So then it was just a hit or miss. If we had, you know, if we had 12 people there, it was an okay championship. If we had 25 people there, it was an awesome
right.
time. You know,
and it's
so
almost
kind
when
of
things happen consistently, you almost don't be there. Like you're not
right.
going to make an
it's
effort
not
to
as
be
pressing.
there.
It's not a,
but
as
when
a
you
big
know
event.
only 2 times this year, this is gonna kick ass. I want to be there.
Right.
Then it's you want
Yeah.
to be at something like that.
Yeah,
So I think
we're
it'll be
making a
fun.
little
And
bit of
I think
there.
I got feedback from somebody at Waukee the other day that I believe it was them or here, but they said that they're excited to know what the championships are going to consist of, so they know it's going to be those 3 challenges, because
right.
some people didn't like going into it not knowing what was, but that was a part of it, you know, so people can practice
Sure. Yeah.
and so I
Yeah.
can see it both ways, but I think people are excited about that
Yep.
too.
Yep. So we'll have, that is going to be coming at the end of December, beginning of the year type of thing, sometime in the dead of winter. So we'll have to have an indoor one,
for sure.
and then we'll have an outdoor one next summer.
In July.
So, so yeah, so those are kind of the remodified. I don't know what the word is. But the way that we're looking at championship restructure. There we go. The restructure.
I'm always
of
coming through
championship.
your
I like it. But so that is our season celebration coming up September 4th for that. And that is basically just going to be brunch and drinks and hanging out. So
Yep.
we don't have to worry about.
And giving awards out.
Yep. So.
You guys won't be required to work out at that one.
Nope.
You can enjoy it a little bit more.
Yep, exactly. We had more people wanting to come celebrate the end of the championship with us than wanted to compete in the championship in some cases.
Sounds about right.
Yep, so that works out. But so we had our craving this week was favorite fair food, and the fair opens up tomorrow, right?
Yeah, the parade's
So
tonight,
we're recording on Wednesday, so Thursday the fair's opening up.
Yep.
So with that in mind, let's talk about fair foods. And what's one of your favorite fair foods?
Well, for years I never tried the cookies, and then there was one year where you had to wait in that long line. That was the longest, but it goes pretty fast with the cookies. Yeah.
Well,
and
and they were about to run out too. That's what was nerve-wracking.
Right.
I was like, we can't get out of line because
I just figured you'd get to be like the second person, and they're going to be like, oh, we're out of cookies, but you got lucky.
Yep.
And so I don't know. Those were good, and I'm not really a sweets person, but those are pretty good.
Those are up there.
Gosh, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. I'd have to say the cookies, I think.
Okay. Did you like
turkey legs are
like turkey
okay.
legs,
Oh,
corn dogs?
the Euros. I really like those Euros.
Yeah,
I feel like I always get one of those every year.
Yeah. I'm a big sweets guy, so the cookies for me are number one. The second, like the bucket of cookies, that's just like a pound of cookies. That's where it's at. But then the other one too, I do like. I will always get a pack of the. I'm sure you can get these all the time, but the taffy, saltwater
taffy.
Yeah.
You can get them, all the time.
I'm sure you can get those all the time.
Stuff, but I think you just like it during that time because it's the Iowa State Fair.
Yeah.
So.
What about all the fried stuff?
No, because I feel like I don't like to eat that stuff when it's super hot out. It just makes me feel gross.
Yeah.
And I'm super impatient when it comes to lines, and the Iowa State Fair is full of lines all the time. So unless I really want something, I'll wait in line for it. But I don't like the deep fried Oreos.
Right, I've heard really good things about the Oreos. I had a Snickers, deep fried Snickers that one time.
Yeah.
And
it was okay.
It was okay, but it was so hot and
That's
hot
just
out.
hot, yes.
And then it was just melted inside, so it was like just a mess. But I mean, tasted it.
Right. And I've kind of conditioned myself to not. I don't really enjoy that stuff because it makes me feel like crap afterwards.
Right. Especially
so
in a
I
hot,
like something,
hot,
that has like good substance.
If it was like a late fall fair,
for sure,
I think the
that'd
fried
be bad.
stuff would be really good.
And my mom and I, we always get a corn dog, but
yeah,
just more for the picture, the photo op with
the photo op with the giant foot long.
Well, every year we try to take like funny photos with it, just as something that we do. It's really
perverts.
Funny. We crossed the line.
Yep. Okay, so we got responses from everybody. Let's see what everybody said.
Okay. Cheese curds.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Those are good.
Those are really good.
Those are real good.
I could put down some cheese curds.
What I like is that all the vendors go back in the same spot. So like my mind like automatically went to where they're located.
Oh yeah, me
but
too.
It's
yeah.
like
That's funny.
think, yeah. The Euros. Those are always good. You don't like Euros.
I'm okay. I have them, but I like them so plain that it's like.
Yeah, what's the point of getting them?
Yeah.
Steak tips. Ooh. We're going to have to try
Where are those
steak. I don't know.
I've never had those there.
Yeah, me either. But that
We'll have to
sounds
try
real
them
good.
out.
I think
Yeah.
I'd like something like that, the steak tips. We'll have to find those for sure.
For sure.
Mini donuts. Those would be good.
I can't remember if I've had those either.
I haven't had them, but...
I feel like they're next to the cookies.
Right. Pork chop on a stick. I've heard good
A
things
lot of
about
people
that.
have said,
Yeah.
they like those. But that's fried too, isn't it? Or no?
No, I think it's just grilled. And it's
Okay.
on a stick. Kind of like the,
Yeah.
not the same, but turkey leg just grilled, not on the stick.
Sure.
Croissants? I don't know.
Croissants? Do they have
No.
croissants there?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Sarah what that is. I don't know.
Croissantes.
I don't know. But never heard of that one. But yeah, not too many people responded. Well, I mean, we had a few, but
I'm all about the
there's like a
drinks.
huge list now of what's out there, the new foods, and I'm just like, I can't keep up with
I'm
all
all
this.
about the beer tent. That's where I'm all about.
It's
So
so
are we gonna
funny
have
because
to
you
get?
make it sound like you drink. You don't really drink that much.
I don't. I enjoy drinking once in a while, and when I do drink, I
Well,
drink.
again, I think
I
it's
drink
'cause it's
on
hot.
occasions. But that's the thing. I only drink on certain occasions, and so that would be one of them.
Right, and it's hot out, so
Volleyball
you just
now
want
being one
something
of
to
them, too,
drink
so I
like that,
drink
and you
once
can
a
only
week.
drink the lemonade there. The fresh squeezed lemonade is really good.
That's true.
But that's
Do we
again,
have to do the dress old timey again this year?
Yeah, probably
Okay.
because Porter is here now, so we have to do that. So every year we go to the old time photos and take a picture, and Tyler gets really thrilled about that. I love them. Every year we see them, it's so cool.
They turn out awesome,
so
and they're
fun just
actually
to see
really
her, like,
good.
yes.
They're really good at doing what they do, but it is a nightmare. Not necessarily like the kids always did good and everything, but the biggest nightmare to me is just how hot it is.
It's standing in line.
Standing in line, and you're standing in line in clothes over your clothes.
Right.
So if you haven't done it before, they basically have all of the old timey Western clothes already kind of put together and then like cut up the back. So you just kind of
They pick
hold
it up
it on,
for you,
like-
which is nice.
yeah. So they just kind of like put it on your arms, and if you're watching, I'm demonstrating. So you can like just put it on your arms, and then they kind of like tie it in the back, and so it's not like you putting on stuff, but it is a lot of.
Oh, it's
It's a
heavy.
lot
It
of
gets
gear,
heavy. Some of the stuff does.
And
Yeah.
it's
Because you guys have to
100
wear like
degrees
the,
out.
yeah.
It sucks.
And like even the little kids and the stuff, but yeah, but I like it because you just walk in and they dress you, like they look at your body type and all that stuff and just dress you. And they do this obviously for a career, so they know. And everything they pick out is pretty good.
Yeah.
But if we had to go pick out, you know how long that would take me to pick out an outfit?
Stupid.
But I'm glad they do it. But I love them. It's so funny too, like just to see the kids' faces in these. And
I do like.
I think what takes
that
the
it's a
longest
tradition.
is that people
I'm all about
picking
traditions.
out their photos of what they want after the fact.
Oh
They
yeah.
can't decide what color they want. Like just pick one.
Well, and they're
go.
good salesmen too. So if you
They
go in,
are.
you have to
Oh,
be
gosh.
prepared to be like, no, I just want this. That's all I want.
Yeah, we just get
And
the one
don't-
picture. That's
just
it.
one picture. Don't try to upsell me on all this other shit, because you can walk out of there with like
Because I'm
$200
thinking.
worth of mugs and
So where we screw
pictures and
ourselves
all
is that we
that
have a
other
new
stuff.
kid every fair, pretty much.
well, we have for the last
No, because
5
last
years.
year we wouldn't have, but so we probably would have got our picture taken. This year, now there's a new one. So now from here on out, I think every 2 or 3 years we do it. Like we don't
Okay,
do it
fair.
every single year. You know what I mean? But
Deal.
we've just added.
Now remember, you've said that publicly.
That's fine
Okay.
because I think it's a
I'm
pain
in.
in the ass too, but I love it for some
Okay.
reason.
Awesome. So the fair is coming up, so everybody enjoy
Sam
the
Hunt's
fair.
gonna be there Saturday night.
Okay. Are we planning on going Saturday?
No.
Oh.
Well, we're gonna go Saturday, but not to the concert.
Okay.
I don't think they're. I think all the tickets are sold. I think people are wanting to get back into concerts and stuff.
I like
so
your
like,
socks, by the way.
Hey, thanks.
Some Krave Gym socks. I
Yeah, I like
sidebar. These socks, they fit so perfect.
They do.
Because
even on my
I don't
feet,
have
because
to.
they're small, and
I don't have to scrunch. I don't have to scrunch them down like I would normally scrunch high ankle. What do you call them? Like high shin socks that I normally wear. I usually have to like scrunch those down. These are the perfect height.
Yeah, and these I like because the heel doesn't come up. I thought the heel would come up really high because
no, they're tight.
Yeah. Anyways.
Sorry, sidebar.
Oh, boy, is it
If you
Boys
want
to
them,
Men?
craveathlete.com.
Is it Boys to Men that's going to be there?
I don't know.
I don't know,
That,
some
that is
weird
a that is a band.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Cool.
we don't have any plans to do anything except take our pictures. Lucky you.
Nice. That's our only plan. So that was the craving. Next week we're gonna next week one of the days is a National Ice Cream Day. So get ready for what your favorite ice cream is, or ice cream shop, or ice cream flavor, or ice cream topping. We haven't nailed it down yet.
Ice cream shop.
Ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Is where
And
we're
there's
gonna
a new one, Home Sweet Cone, that opened up in Waukee. I think Zach went there. I wish he was on here, but
go.
they've sold out
Cy
ice
went
cream
there.
like every day.
Cy went there
Blows my
and said
mind.
that they had the longest line in the world, and they said that they must open at noon, and they were there 15 minutes early because so like 11:45, and they thought that they were the only ones like there in their car. As soon as they opened at noon, they said like 40 people walked out of their car, and
what-
all of them were waiting for when they opened at noon. And we were walking there one day this last weekend, and I was thinking that it was closer than what it was. So as soon as I realized that how far it was, I was like, nope, we just passed an ice cream shop, we're going to Ritas.
It's funny because I asked you several times, you're okay walking there? You're like, yeah, it's not that far, not that far. So I kept thinking, all right. So
I was just off.
So we passed Rita's, and he's like, no, look, we're good. So you thought it was by Barntown, but it wasn't. It was down another by Central Standard. But we didn't make it. We made it to Rita's, and it was good too. But
that was really good too.
So yeah, favorite ice cream shop this week.
And the other one that I thought about and I looked up was the Old Waukee ice cream shop.
That's cute.
With 2 P's.
That's really fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, because we've been there once. That was really good.
Yeah.
Or like DQ. How about that?
That's a good one too.
Good one too. Can't go
Culver's,
wrong.
I mean, there's a lot of good ones, but.
But yeah, so next week we will have our favorite ice cream for anybody that wants to vote on there. We'll have a heated discussion about cold treats. Then we have our just a couple things. We do have our coaches breakdowns that are online. So we have the front squat press and the 90-degree hurdle jump that are uploaded for this season. So if you have questions, we try to do one once a week. So if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, go to our YouTube and subscribe so you can see when those coaches breakdowns go out. So that way all of our Krave athletes can see those. Even if you're not a Krave athlete, you can use those movements, and we kind of coach you up on how to do those movements in that coaches breakdown, and you can add those to your workout. So it's a great way to get new movements and check those out.
And we try to pick the ones that are the hardest for athletes to kind of understand. So please, like as coaches, if we're giving you these tools to use to make yourself a better athlete, use them, because we want you guys to have correct form on everything to help prevent injury and stuff. So definitely check those out.
And then the last thing with our program at Krave is we have our supplement packs that will go out. These are reoccurring packs that come out each season. Next season, we are in endurance season. So we have our protein and we have our Supremos. So the Supremos is a hydration and electrolyte BCAA. So it works to help jumpstart recovery. It has the hydration and keeps you hydrated with the extra miles that we're going to be running, with the extra endurance that we're going to have next season. That's important. But you will also still have the option, if you wanted to get your pre-workout and your protein from last season. So each season we have a different pack. It's normally $100, $150 retail. You get it for $100 if you are on the subscription. So
the Supremos taste awesome.
They are amazing.
And there's no sugar in them like some of those Gatorades and stuff like that people out there drinking to stay hydrated. So definitely.
They have your electrolyte minerals and stuff that you need that when you're sweating.
4 or 5 different flavors.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And so we'll have all of those available. That will start on your September payment. If you're doing that as your supplement packs, that will just be a $50 add to your supplement pack or to your monthly, and then you'll get those at the beginning of each season, and we'll roll from there. So if you are interested, get a hold of your coach and get those taken care of, and we'll dive a little deeper into the purpose of the supplements probably on next episode. But
pretty much the savings is if you're buying protein every month, you pretty much get a free product.
Right.
So you might as well do it. If you're buying one protein a month, but you should be drinking protein every day, or especially after your workouts, then that's pretty much a free product on top of it. So definitely worth it.
For sure. So so that's kind of it. Today we're going to talk about, oh, actually I lied. I wanted to review the iCubs game. Thanks everybody for coming out to the iCubs game last Saturday. That was a lot of fun.
Got smoked, but
yeah, it was a bad game as far as the iCubs go. They
remember
lost
watching
11 to nothing.
one play because I just feel like I talked the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't even pay attention to what's going on.
That's the way it works out there. But it was fun. We went to, what was it, Truman's before?
Truman's, yeah.
We ate some dinner before then, and then headed over to the game, and came after the first inning, and it was already like
7-0. I don't even know.
Yeah, it was bad. So we were like, it's a bad game, but thank you all for
the weather was
that
nice,
came out.
Nice.
It ended up not raining all over us, so we were okay with that too. So so those are a lot of fun. Anytime that you want to get participate in those, we have those available on all of our calendars and stuff. So each season we have different things for our team to do together outside of the gym, because again, we're all about not only being a team inside the gym, being good leaders inside of the gym, but then also outside of the gym as well. So that helps with some of those different events as we go. Let's get into our word of the week.
What is it? I don't even know what it is.
You don't even know.
I don't even.
Positivity.
Yeah.
So,
I like it.
So last week we talked about thick skin and being thick skinned and letting negative stuff kind of roll off your back. And so
hold on, I gotta interrupt you.
Okay.
I did not go get a margarita. Remember, I told you all that I was gonna not give in and not get a margarita after volleyball. That was the word of the week, and I listened, and I implemented that into my life. Yeah, because I didn't give in to peer pressure.
Okay.
I'm just gonna use it as that, even if it's not the right way to use it.
I like it. I'm down with that. Good job. That's the way to work.
I know.
That's awesome.
One person did it.
Yep,
I don't know if anybody else utilized the word last week.
Yep. And and that's the biggest thing here. If you concentrate on these words, and try to put these into action each week, that's going to be something that just creates some of these habits and continues to improve your life in different ways, and in positive ways for today's positivity. But that's kind of one of the things is that it came from, that's connected to the last week's, is letting that negative stuff just go off your back and not giving it too much thought. But the definition is obviously the practice of being, or the tendency of being positive and optimistic in attitude. And so the big thing that positivity can do for you is just create opportunities and keep your mindset in a good spot. And Gary Vaynerchuk, with our quote of the week, says positivity always wins, always. But the big thing that I wanted to concentrate are the action steps for this. And this is going to be a guide to being successful with positivity. And number one is, this is kind of 4 different ways to work on positivity this week. Number 1 is control your mindset. So you have a lot more control over your mindset than what you think. Not letting people, having thick skin like we talked about last week, not letting things get taken personal, but then also making sure that you're doing things and putting yourself in the position to be in a positive space. There's a lot of people that are negative. There's a lot of things out there that are negative. And this is one thing that kind of got me thinking about positivity, was actually kind of watching the news. And this is, this is actually number 3, but we'll move it up to number 2. Getting rid of negative influences and negative comments and different things. So there's a lot of negative in the world today, and I thought of this when I was watching the news, and it was just negative this, and the news have always been like, here's a list of negative shit that happened in the last couple days or in the last week or all this kind of stuff. So I dislike watching the news, and I try not to watch the news very often. But I had caught it earlier this week, and it was just negative. And so one thing to help that is limiting the news, limiting social media
That's
and
what I
negative
wake up
stuff.
and turn on right away.
Yeah, but that
I just do it for
is that just
background. I would
negative?
say honestly,
Right.
don't even.
You don't even listen.
It
to
doesn't
That's the
affect
thing.
me. I don't let it. Like half the time, I like
The
laugh,
reason
like,
the reason you put on news is because we're in a streaming. We're in a like we don't have cable, so we stream all of our stuff. And instead of thinking about what show you're gonna put on, because you like that's the weird thing about today is you have to pick what you want to watch. So you don't want to pick what you want to watch. The news is live, so you just click that channel, live, go, and it just plays.
But
So I
it's
don't
funny
think you really
because
think and listen to it.
There are some, not very much, but positive stories on there.
There are.
So, and I find that like if I'm in the kitchen doing something and like the Iowa Field of Dreams thing is here, and so like the news was in Iowa and that like said something about it was like a positive story, I'm just attracted to that.
That's good.
But like when they're on there talking about COVID and all these deaths, I'm like, I just block it out.
Right.
But I find myself paying attention more to the positivity of it. But it's so negative.
Yeah, and it's always been negative. It's gotten a lot worse, I think, recently with political views and the way that the media makes money is clicks and all that. And so one thing I think that a lot of people don't realize is the news is just like and I was talking to the Jake, I think, but the news makes money the exact same way that tabloids made money back when everything was printed, right? So if they're getting clicks online and their sponsorship ads and all of that kind of stuff, that's what's making them money. So like the same tactics that the tabloids used back in the day, where you had a big dramatic headline, that's what the news companies have to do in today's world to sell to be production. So I just dislike that's the angles, because they're gonna do whatever they can to get clicks. And this isn't a political side. This is left side or right side. That's just how they. But
you have
money.
some news stations that go towards the left or towards the right.
There's always a political leaning.
Right.
And the news gets told differently. So I like to have my Fox News, and I like to have my my NBC News. Like I like to have Good Morning America and watch Fox, because it's funny, because the same exact story will be twisted in a different way.
Or they won't even broadcast it if it's a big story.
Right.
And they should, because it's
right. But that's not their demographic. That's not how they make money from that story. And so they have a different demographic that they're trying to attract, right? But keeping that all in mind, the positivity is what we're looking for it. So, and then not only the news, right, but in social media, like social media is such a polarizing form of media now too, is because you have friends that are just sharing. I say friends, but friends on social platforms that are just sharing all these negative things, right? Why do you think you probably should think about getting rid of that person as a friend, or getting rid of that group as a following, if you follow that group, whatever's sharing all of those negative thoughts, and move towards more positive things, because that's going to control your mindset. So you can get rid of those negative things. If you're seeing those, all of that can get rid of those negative thoughts. And even like in person, who has the friend that is just like nonstop negative? Like, oh, I did this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me. And that's the energy that they always have, right? Shutting down those relationships is something that I think that is important as well. And having the positive relationships in person, because those conversations can change your life dramatically. And a lot of people will always say, oh, you can't have friends that hold you back, and you have to dump those friends and all this kind of stuff. And that's true to a sense, but I think it's more importantly the negativity that comes along with those relationships, and the thoughts that are provoked from those negative relationships that end up hurting you in the long run with those negative type of people. And even I was so obviously we hire coaches and so we're employers, but I was doing research on the best way to have a system of hiring, right? And the number one thing that was said over and over and over again is have a first phone call and just say, how was your day? and the number one, the only thing that you want to hear is, oh, it was good, and move on. Like if the person, a lot of the people that I was listening to on this subject said, if the person goes into detail about, oh, well, I got bit by a dog yesterday, so I had to go to the hospital, then I had a flat tire, so I mean it's been a rough couple of days, but I'm doing, like, if anybody goes into that with to a stranger that is potentially your employer, that's the point where you shut down the interview and you don't do that. So like that's one of the things that we're going to implement, is just having that first phone call, and even just to introduce yourself and set up the actual meeting. Just say, hey Jimmy, how's it going? How's your day today? And if they say anything about anything, like, we don't really want to know. We want to know what your response is. So if they say, I woke up early and I had a good workout, so everything's great, perfect, but if they go into anything negative, then not only are they going to do that, but now when they get to know people, they're the people that are going to share these negative stories and these negative type of interactions with people nonstop. And so that's one thing that you can just turn that interview off right away. So so a lot of people, that's something that can be implemented as well.
Right.
But number 3 is getting rid of negative thoughts. So we all have that inner talk, and just this week, think about, when you hear your own voice in your head and you have that negative thought, recognize it and say, oh wait, no, try to turn that into a positive. And then number 4 is practicing gratitude every day. So this is one of the best things, I think, whether you're religious and you say prayers, or you're just thanking the universe, if you're not religious, or you're just saying to yourself or a significant other what you're grateful for during that day. Like that shifts your mindset, kind of like the interview question, right? You're not concentrating on negative things that happen to you. You're concentrating in that moment for, a minute, you're talking about positive things that have happened to you. I'm thankful, that I'm healthy and that I can work out. That's a lot different way of kind of sharing that gratitude versus, oh, I have to work out today and I don't feel like it.
And what I was going to extend on this is the words I get to.
Right, that's huge.
Instead of I have to, or, like in the middle of the night when the baby wakes up, I get to get up and feed him, because there's people that would love to be able to do that can't have kids, or something like that. Or I get to do the challenge this week because there's people that would do anything to be off their deathbed and work out.
Definitely.
Like it's an eye-opening thing. Like they're really powerful words when you put them in that sense of gratitude.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but I get to be with my kids all day.
Right.
I said that to myself yesterday because it got hard for a second, but I'm like, no, I get to do this. So many people would long to be at home with their kids right now, and spend more time with them.
Yeah.
So, but then my attitude and my positivity for that whole day just changed.
Right.
So,
and it's
crazy.
It's so big on what this positive self-talk and stuff and those words can do for you. So that's awesome. And like for me personally too, here recently, I had an injury where I couldn't work out, so I had to take a week off, and I couldn't play volleyball and all of this stuff that I had to sit out for, that I enjoy doing, and it made it difficult to play with the kids and all this kind of stuff. So I had a kind of I wish that I didn't take for granted all of these little things that I can do on a normal basis. I should be thankful for those when I get out of this injury, and that's what I've been trying to practice now since I've been getting healthy for the last week. I've been able to do everything that I would normally do. So in the last week, I've been trying to be as positive as possible and be thankful and work on my gratitude for the shit that I couldn't do for 2 weeks, and that kind of shit shifted my mindset, and
from a negative to a positive.
To a positive, you know what I mean? And so those are the 4 things: control your mindset, get rid of negative thoughts, get rid of negative influences, and practice gratitude daily, because we're all about positivity this week. And let's go ahead and impact other people's lives positively too. That's the other thing. Positively, whether you're positive or negative, those are super, super contagious. And so
positivity spreads just as fast as negativity.
Definitely. Yep. And yeah, you can make somebody's day by just having I got to do these things this morning, and so I'm in a good mood. And when I reach out to the next person, I say 3 things that because I'm in a good mood, I interact with that person differently than I would have if I had to do these. If I got woken up, if I had to do some stuff this morning that I didn't feel like doing, and now I'm kind of grumpy, and I interact with that person in a grumpy manner, that interaction just now negatively influenced that other person. So what are you laughing at?
Because it happened this morning.
What?
Remember when I highly advised you to look in the dishwasher and do the dishes?
Oh, you gave me an advisory? You gave me a weather advisory? But were you negative or positive coming into that situation?
Negative.
So,
but now I'm going to be positive this week. I'm going to work on it.
I love it. So that was a negative interaction.
Yeah.
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 But do you think that if that was, and I wasn't thinking about this when we were doing this, but do you think that if that was a more positive interaction, because you flipped it right away. Like you didn't stay negative and stay bitchy, if that's the right word.
No, I didn't. Because I just learned to get over it. As I get older, I just learned to get over shit a lot easier because it's not worth it to be mad about that all day. So, should I tell the story?
Well, yeah, why not?
So I asked him a couple times, can you just wake up a little bit earlier and just check the dishwasher? Okay, so we got over that part. And he's like, well, I like to just lay on my phone in the morning because it wakes me up. And I was like, well, put a freaking disco ball or some bright ass light in the dishwasher. Then when you open it, it'll wake you up.
Wake my ass up. That'll be the first thing I do.
I go, that'll wake your ass up. And then I just had to start laughing because I'm like, this is.
That was a positive spin on it. I like it.
And then we got over it.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, because I that's exactly what I thought of it. And I'm like, I'm not going to be negative about this all day. This is something so silly to be negative about. So let's just make this a positive
and throw a disco
positive
ball
turnaround and throw a disco ball or a bright ass light in there. So you might get home tonight and see a bright light in the dishwasher. So
I'm down for that. That'd be kind of cool. Just a giant flashlight, just like you wake up and everything's dark, but then you open it up and it's just
this is a bright light. You want light? Let there be light.
Let there be light. I like it.
I just like part of me started laughing because I'm like, I'm pretty.
No, you actually.
I'm pretty funny.
Laughing.
I did because I think I'm so funny.
Yeah, it was a good idea. No, like literally, I woke up 10 minutes early so that I could be on my phone with the light in my eye, just to wake me up.
Yeah, so
like
I think the bright light thing.
That bright light.
I go downtown or go downstairs, turn all the lights on, put a light in the dishwasher, open it up, and that'll wake your ass up. And then I just started laughing. I'm like, that's pretty funny. I was waiting for you to laugh because you didn't. I'm just like, I honestly was like, what is he thinking right now? Like, she's crazy or she's really funny. One of the two.
I was thinking a combination of the two.
Or you probably weren't even listening at all. By this time, you probably just shut me out. I don't know, but
that was probably a combination of all three of those.
Here we are talking about positivity. 2 hours later.
Positivity. I love it. Positivity. It's the little things in life, right? That you got to be grateful for.
It's so true.
Grateful that we have a dishwasher. Some people don't have dishwashers.
Because you'd be hand washing that shit at 5 in the morning. That would not be fun.
That's true. That would be a disaster. You definitely would not get me to do that very often. As little as we get to do the dishes and stuff.
My friend Katie still hand washes her dishes. Blows my mind.
That is a lot of extra work, I feel like.
But she has teenagers. They do it. So
they wash their own dishes, or they wash all of the dishes?
Them, I think, yeah.
A lot of people do that like after a family meal.
Mm-hmm. Like
if you cook, I'll do the dishes afterwards.
Right. Well, I think they just take turns.
I'm all about paper plates.
I'm all about my kids being teenagers.
That's true too. A little bit more chore worthy.
You want a sucker? Oh, go do the dishes.
Yep. Oh, dessert? Dessert comes after your chores. I like that idea. That's perfect. So, well, thank you guys for listening. Anything else you want to touch on today?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's all for us today. Let's get out of here.
Short one, because I gotta go work out.
Yep. Oh, it's already 11:40. It actually
Is it
wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't a short one. So you gotta roll. So
yeah.
Appreciate you guys all for listening. Again, subscribe, rate, review, follow us on social media, and subscribe to our YouTube. And remember, you're an athlete. Live like it.
Born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.